Good morning. We've got my new pattern. We have a finished sweater. We have the Copper Corgi PopUp Tour, and we've got some new skirts. So get yourself some beverage, some coffee, some orange juice, and your knitting, and settle in because I got lots to share with you today. So like I said last week, I would have my sweater finished. I finished my sweater, my Ela sweater. Okay, here's some funny things about it. One sleeve is at least an inch longer than the other one. I can't tell you exactly how that happened. I noticed when I was blocking it, I just stopped. I had the right number of stitches for my ribbing. I can't even figure out how that happened. Here's the thing, I may not even fix it. I may not care, right? Because this is a sweater I'm gonna be wearing with a long sleeve shirt underneath, and I'm probably gonna be kind of turning up my cuffs a little bit. I may not care. You know, when I have it hanging in the store, it's kind of funny because one is longer than the other. But, you know, it's just another one of those teaching, learning opportunities where, you know, there's too many things to knit. Why bother? But other than that, I love it. I love it. I love my sweater. It's chilly this morning. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. It's a great rusty color. I'm just so tickled. I'm more tickled about this than the pattern that I wrote, which I'll share with you in a minute. But I brought some yarn over. Let's see where I put it. I organized myself here, and now I'm going out of order, so I'm not so organized. So this is wool stock, worsted. I'm going to tell you too, this took me 7 skeins. This is a $77 sweater. It's a really nice sweater. You know, a lot of times we think, oh, we could buy it cheaper. I'm not sure you could buy this sweater cheaper than what it cost me to knit it. It was worsted. It's the fastest one I've knit. It only took a month. Melissa might have done it in 2 weeks, maybe even a week, but it's got this great pattern in there. So, I mean, I just love this wool stock. It is beautiful quality, a lofty yarn, very lightweight. And here's some other, we have lots of colors, but I grabbed the ones that very quickly I could see we had sweater quantities of. And I did buy more of this color in a sweater quantity for the shop, thinking maybe some of you might want to make the same thing. And so we've got, I'm wearing Rusted Roof, and this would be a great one here. This one is October Sky, this really pretty blue. It's just so great. And 7 skeins sounds like a lot, but that's because there's only 123 yards in each skein, which makes them great for color work too. And I did we are now calling it the Universal Join. Used to be named something else, which made it really great for joining in and not having to weave in the ends, except for where like under the sleeves and stuff like that. But when I had to join a skein. This one is Golden Meadow, also one of my favorites. I had a hard time deciding between these two. And then a classic gray is Cast Iron, really fabulous. This is a nice dusty pink called Lilac Bloom, would also be great in this sweater. And then this one is Spring Ice. So I'm really happy with the way that Ela turned out. Isabel Kramer, I just couldn't be more pleased. Really great. I mean, maybe I might have added more repeats because you see I'm kind of pulling on it a little bit, but I don't think so. It feels like a jacket, but much softer and easier to wear. I'm just tickled to death with that. Okay, so back to the agenda that I had written. Here is my new pattern called Tango Mango. I wrote it for Good Vibes, and it was original and exclusive to them for 6 months, and now it's available. And it is designed to use 2 skeins of a worsted, because we're always looking for some things to do with our worsted yarns. And so we wrote it for Alegria Grande, Manos, and specifically what to do when you have a super variegated yarn, which the pinkish one is, how you can do that. And so this pattern does that, and I brought some combos over for us here in Alegria Grande, which is Manos del Uruguay. Great company. I love working with them. They support or create, not just support, but create women's cooperatives and schools and just lifelong employment. It's just a really good company to be involved with. So say you have one like this and you're not quite sure what to do with it. Tango Mango can help with that because this yarn, and maybe you can kind of see in the picot binding, was that particular color was exclusive to Good Vibes, but it had as much variation in it, if not more, than this. And so you could put these two together, and then that special stitch kind of creates some movement in there, and the stripes. And so this one is Cinnamon, and this one is Fez. And you could do those two together. That would be a really nice fall combo. Another two that you could do together, I love this one here, this one is Pindo. Really great, variegated, lots of poppy color in there. Look at that. And I would pair that with Leo. I think that would be really handsome in there in this particular shawl. And then you'd have those little bright things in there. In fact, we might have to knit another one up. I kind of really like that combo. And last but not least, the closest to this. So this is Olive, which is the green that's in this. And then you could pair it with Quilt and get something very similar to this. So 2 skeins of Monos, and the pattern is on our website. It's also on Ravelry. Thank you to my partners, Sarah and Janet, teaching me how to do all this stuff. And here's the pattern. This is what it looks like laid out. And I just love having a worsted, what to do with some variegated worsted. You can kind of wear it like a bandana. It feels like a bandana. This is my favorite shape to wear. So that's really exciting for me. And there's also an ebook available with the other 2 patterns from the winter Good Vibes, and those people too. So we'll have that link up. And speaking of my Good Vibes partners, Sarah of Not Another Hat wrote this super cool candle wick cowl. So look at that. Look at the texture in there. Isn't that fabulous? And Elaine, sample knitter extraordinaire, knit this for us in wool stock, like my sweater, but the wool stock tweed. And so the tweed is a little heavier. Let me just move these things out of the way. The tweed's a little heavier than my sweater. In fact, I originally thought I would knit my sweater in that, but I wasn't going to get anything like gauge. So we knit the cowl in it. 2 skeins of this. So it is just this wool stock tweed. It's got